Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This video is a follow-up of the recreation of this dress. In my previous video, we drafted the pattern in which I shared 2 ways to draft the pattern of the upper part of the dress. The link to that tutorial will be in the description. Today's video is all about the sewing. I used the first method in the pattern drafting tutorial to recreate mine, but I'm going to start the tutorial with the second method, followed by the method I used to sew mine. So keep on watching. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. I have here all my pieces cut out, the center bodies with the lining, the side bodies for both sides with the lining as well. I have the back piece with their lining, the straps with their lining. I have this piece here for the ruffles, then this lower back piece, but our focus is on the bodies. I've gone ahead and prepared my ruffles and have gathered it back to the total length of the strap. I've also notched the part of the front strap on both sides that is part of the bodies. I'm going to attach my ruffles to the strap as shown in the video. Please, the ruffles should be attached on the front strap and not on the lining. So guys, I've done that. I attach my ruffles on the strap that will be on the front panel, not on the lining. Otherwise, your ruffles will be on the wrong side of your dress. I will place the lining of the strap now and stitch up to the point where I notched. I will leave that part open. When you attach the lining to the other side of the strap, the end you left open on the right side must be the same end you leave open on the left side. Now you're going to fold in the ruffles and stitch close the strap up to that point you left open. This is what your strap will look like when you're done. That place that is left open is the part of the front strap on the front bodies. I'll go ahead and turn it out. So guys, this is what I have. Normally you take this to your ironing table and give it a good press, but this is an illustration video. So the next thing we are going to do is to attach the body of the front bodies. This is the center panel of the front bodies and I have it with the lining. I will go ahead and attach them at the neckline. Top stitch the seam allowance on the lining and secure the sides with a straight stitch to keep them in place. I'll go ahead and attach it to the strap. I will pin it first to the lining. You can just go ahead and run a straight stitch to have more control. Then I will flip over the other side of the strap like you see me doing in the video and pin in place. Then I will attach with a straight stitch. This will hide the raw edges of the seam in between the strap and give you a neat finish on both sides of the dress. I will do the same on the other side of the strap. So in case you didn't get it the first time, I will demonstrate it again on this other side, but I will let you watch through. So guys, this is what my front bodice is looking like so far. The next thing we are going to do is to attach the side panel. So I'm going to attach the side panel to the lining at the armhole. Top stitch the seam allowance to the lining and secure the side that will be attached to the strap with a straight stitch and leave the side of the side seam open. I've gone ahead and attached one side of the side piece and the other side will be attaching together. Like I earlier mentioned, your ruffles should be attached on the front strap and not on the lining. If attached on the lining, your ruffles is going to be on the wrong side when you attach your side piece. Just like I did with the center piece, I will pin in place the side panel to the lining first. You can go ahead and run a straight stitch to have more control. Then you will turn the front strap over, just like you see me doing. Pin in place, making sure to push away every fabric off the line of the seam allowance. Then you attach with a straight stitch. Now, if your ruffle is not attached to the strap that runs on the front side of your dress, know that your ruffle will be on the wrong side if it's attached on the lining when you attach the side panel. So guys, we're done with the front panel. Now we are going to work on the back panel. I've gone ahead and attached one side of the back panel off camera and this other side will be attaching together. Using my strap length measurement, I will place the right side of the back piece to the right side of the strap at the point where we notched for the position of the strap and attach with a straight stitch. Then the right side of the lining to the wrong side of the strap and attach with a straight stitch. This is what you will have. Now to stitch close the lower part of the bag and that of the belt so that the raw edges will be hidden inside. You're going to fold in the strap like so and out from the side of the back piece and pin in place. Then attach with a straight stitch all the way round and around your belt as well. I have done that and I've made necessary notches. I will go ahead and turn it out. So guys, this is what I have. Please do not forget to iron out your pieces. Remember, this is for illustration purpose. To attach the front and back piece on the side, I'm going to sandwich the back piece in between the front piece. So I'm going to start by stitching close the side of the back piece first. I will pin it to the lining of the front piece and attach with a straight stitch. Then I'm going to fold over the front panel and attach with a straight stitch as well. This will hide the raw edges of the seam and will give you a clean finish on both sides of the bodice. Once that is done, I will turn it out. Stitch close the lower part of the bodice to secure it and I will give it a good press. So guys, I've ironed my top and you can see how beautiful the top turned out. Please make sure to watch the second method, which is the method I used to recreate this dress, and to see how the lower part of the dress was sewn and to also know which method suits you better. I will be working with this Ankara print to recreate this dress. I use 6 meters of fabric. I will go ahead and cut out my pieces. I've pinned my pattern in place and I'll be cutting out the back strap together with that of the front. My back strap measured 11.25 inches plus half-inch seam allowance, making it 11.75 inches. And please, this measurement was taken from the highest point of the shoulder of the back strap. So I'm going to extend the strap of the front to 11.75 inches and cut out. For the back pattern, you cut out the band with the extension of how long you want your belt to be, and you'll be cutting with the lining. I'll go ahead and cut out my pieces. The full length of my dress measured 61 inches, and I have these two pieces for the lower part of the dress. Their measurements will be on the screen. The body of the piece in length measured 41 inches, and this includes seam allowance, and in width measured 26 inches here, but what I used was 25 inches, and that includes 1 inch seam allowance as well. I'm going to fold in half the back panel like so, and I'll go ahead and slash and spread the back pattern. I have marked the half-inch joining allowance on my fabric, and from that line I will come down by 6 inches the width of the back pattern. So you're going to come down by the width of your back pattern and square it out. On this new line, you're going to pin each of the back pieces with the smallest pin on the center back. Once everything is nice and okay, you will go ahead and connect it with a curved line, just like you see me doing. I went ahead and marked 25 inches for the body of the dress, and this includes 1 inch seam allowance, half inch to join to the half length, and half inch to join to the tear. I'll go ahead and cut out my pieces. On the side of the hem, I came up by 1 inch and curved it back into the hem. I'll go ahead and cut it out and make necessary notches. With the width of the side seam of the front bodies, I placed that measurement on the seam allowance and came down at 10 inches for the beginning of my pocket, and the width of my pocket opening is 7 inches. Initially, I wanted to use a bias tape, which the back pattern will be gathered back to the waist circumference, but this will require a side zip for you to be able to wear your dress. I'm going to use the back as a template to cut the width of the front panel. So guys, all of our pieces are ready. We'll go ahead and assemble them together. I have here 2 pieces for the lower part of the dress. I have here the front pattern with the lining. Remember, the front panel is cut without the strap, so I'll be trimming off the strap of the front panel. I have my back pattern here. The strap of the back pattern is cut together with the strap of the front lining, which is the extension you see on the front pattern. So this is what your back pattern will look like with the extension of how long you want the belt to be. These long rectangles are for the ruffles and for the front strap, and I have 4 pieces of that here. I'm going to start by sewing close the darts on the front panel and on the lining, and I'll trim down the dart allowance to half inch seam allowance. This is what your front panel will look like. Please disregard the strap on the front panel, it will be trimmed off. The strap is only on the lining. To get the length of the ruffle, we are going to measure on the pattern the side of the shoulder where the ruffle is placed, which is towards the armhole. We are going to measure from the back all the way down to the half length of the front. So from my back measured 10.75 inches, I'm going to take that point to the point on the front strap and measure all the way down to the half length of the front, and this gave me 26 inches. I'll multiply this measurement by 2. This will be the total length of my ruffles, which will be gathered back to 26 inches plus ½ inch seam allowance. From my own measurement, I had an extra 3 inches, which was totally fine. I'll go ahead and shape the ends of these ruffles and prepare them. So guys, my ruffles are ready and I've gathered it back to the original length of 26 inches plus ½ inch seam allowance. We'll go ahead and attach it to the bodice. I've attached one of the ruffles to the sleeve and I just trimmed off the strap of the front panel like I earlier mentioned, and we'll be attaching this part together. This is the strap of the lining and this is my front panel. Both wrong sides are facing each other. I just purposely left it so that you can better understand the placement of the ruffle. To attach the ruffle, you're going to pin in place by placing the wrong side of the ruffle to the right side of the strap of the lining, then the right side of the strap of the front panel like I'm showing you to the right side of the ruffle and pin them in place. I've pinned them in place. I'm going to run a straight stitch up to the seam line of the seam allowance of the neckline and stop before I stitch close the neckline. I've made the stitches and I'm going to run the same stitches on this other side, so I'm going to push away the ruffles to about 1 inch away from the seam allowance line and run the same stitches up to the seam line of the seam allowance of the neckline. The reason I'm stopping at this point is because we will notch on the ½ inch seam allowance on both sides of the front strap to move it out of the way before we stitch close the neckline and the armhole. So guys, I'm done with the second stitch. I'm going to remove this front panel now that we are done with the strap, and we'll attach it back together. This is what your lining should look like when you are done attaching both ruffles. This is the right side of my lining and the rest of the strap and ruffles falls on it. Now this is the wrong side of the lining and you can see the raw edges of the dart. This is the front panel and we are going to attach the two together. So I will turn the lining back to the right side, and with the right side of the front panel to the right side of the lining, I will pin them in place. This is how you're going to run your stitches. You're going to sew on the seam allowance of the armhole and secure on the seam allowance of the strap. And please make sure you have moved away the ½ inch seam allowance you notched on the front strap. Then you move to the seam allowance of the strap of the neckline, secure it there and sew close the neckline, making sure you have moved away the ½ inch seam allowance you notched on the strap of the neckline on both straps, please. And the space on the strap remains open. I'm going to demonstrate what I just explained on this side and you watch the rest. Before you hit that square corner, make sure you've pinned away the ½ inch seam allowance you notched on the front strap on both sides. Then you rotate your fabric, make your back tags to secure your stitches. You're going to move your needle to the next seam allowance of the strap. Make your back tags there. Before you rotate to stitch close the neckline, make sure you have pinned away the ½ inch seam allowance you notched on the front strap, then stitch close the neckline. The space between the strap remains open. Then you repeat the same thing on the other side of the strap. This is optional, but if you struggle with sewing straight lines, I suggest you outline the seam allowance of your square neckline to guide you hit the right point and get that crispy square neckline. Also, do not notch the square corners of your neckline before making these stitches. This side of the strap that is notched is the side I attached off camera. So guys, this is what your square neckline should look like. Like I earlier mentioned, do not notch the corners before sewing so that you do not struggle. Now I'm going to notch on that square corner close to the stitch line but not through. so that we can easily turn out the bodies through the space in between the straps. To turn out the bodies, I'm going to pass the straps through that hole so that the wrong side of the front panel and the lining faces each other. Then I'll go in and smoothen out all the corners. At this point, do not forget to top stitch the seam allowance of the neckline to the lining. Now to turn out the strap to the right side, I'm going to go in from that hole as you see in the video and turn it out as you see me doing, and I'll do the same on the other side of the strap. So guys, I've turned out both straps. I'll go ahead and give them a good press. I'll go in and iron out the corners to give it that crispiness. On that front strap extension, I'm going to iron in that 1/2 inch seam allowance we notched on the strap on both sides while sewing the neckline. I will go in with my breast pad to iron down the dart and get that cup shape. I will also use it to pin the ruffles and strap to enable me get into every corner of the bust. To attach the ruffles and strap, I place the straps 1/2 inch away from the dart line towards the center so as to cover the dart line, making the distance between the straps at the waistline to be 6 inches. Then I went ahead to pin the ruffles to the strap first to have more control. Once everything is nice and okay, I will take it to my sewing machine and run a top stitch on both sides, and I'll do the same on the other side of the strap. I did not pin with the lining because I do not want the stitches to show on the wrong side, but you can pin with the lining if it's more convenient for you. So guys, I've done the stitches, and as you can see, I stitched without the lining. I also top stitched the seam allowance of the neckline to the lining. Please do not forget to do that. The next thing we are going to do is to mark the length of our straps. So you're going to measure the side of the strap of your neckline, which is the side of the highest point of your shoulder, and then the side of the strap where the ruffles is attached. On my pattern, the highest point of my front strap measured 8.75 inches. I'll place this measurement on the highest point of the back strap and measure, and this total to 20 inches. On the side of the strap where the ruffle is attached, the front measured 8.5 inches. I'll place this measurement on the back and measure, and this total to 19.25 inches. These two measurements is what we are going to mark on our strap to enable our strap lay flat on our shoulders without falling off. To this measurement, I later minused 1 inch. The 20 inches became 19 and the 19.25 became 18.25 inches. This helps secure the straps on the shoulders as the back piece is not attached to the lower back piece. I'm going to match up these straps and trim off the excess. You can see that the ends of this strap is slanted, is not square. If you make yours square, it's going to be slipping off of your shoulder. Moving on to the back piece, I'm going to match the right side of the back piece to the right side of the strap at the point where we marked for the strap on the back piece and attach with a straight stitch. Once that is done, I'll place the right side of the lining to the wrong side of the strap and attach with a straight stitch. This is what you will have. Now to stitch close the lower side of the back and that of the belt so that the raw edges will be hidden inside, you're going to fold in the strap like so and out from the side of the back piece, just like you see me doing, and pin in place. Then you will run your stitches all the way down and around the belt. I've stitched close the lower part of the back piece and around the belt. I've also notched the square corners of the ends of the belt. My belt was quite long, so I'm going to turn it out from the side seam. This is what my dress is looking like. You can see that it's gradually coming together. Before I take this to my table to give it a good press, we are going to attach the front and back panels together. To attach the front and back panel together on the sides, you're going to place the back piece in between the front panel and the lining and pin in place, just like you see me doing, and attach with a straight stitch. So guys, this is what our top is looking like so far. I'll go ahead and attach the other side of camera and give it a good press. So guys, I've done all that I said and I've given it a good press. The upper part of this dress is complete and we are going to work on the lower part of the dress. These are my pieces for the lower part of this dress. The tiered part of this dress measured 2.5 inches each, making it 5 inches for the front and back panel, which I gathered back to the circumference of the body of the dress. I've gathered the two pieces of the body of the dress. The back piece I gathered and piped with a bias, but this will require a side zip to be able to wear it, so I'm going to change it and insert an elastic instead. I'll go ahead and attach the front piece, and on both sides I will leave a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Remember, the seam allowance of the bodice was hidden inside. Then on this seam allowance, I will attach the back panel and insert my pockets. So guys, I've done that. I've attached the body of the front to the bodies. I've also attached one side of the back panel after changing the waistline to an elastic. I just wanted to show you guys before I continue. And I also attached the pocket. So I'll go ahead and finish off the other side and zigzag stitch all raw edges. To do that, you will align the waistline of the back to the seam line that joined the front panel to the skirt and pin in place. Then you go ahead and attach with a straight stitch. So guys, I've done that and we are almost getting close to the end. Now, to prevent any seams from peeping out on the waistline, I'm going to turn over this seam allowance that joined the bodice to the body of the dress like so, and sew it down there. This will help keep that seam allowance down. Then I will turn it out and run back tacks on the right side to secure it. This dress is as good as ready. You can go ahead and rock it as a short gown as it is now, or add a short ruffles around the hem and rock it as a short gown. To round up this tutorial, I'm going to add the tier which I have gathered to the circumference of the body of the dress and hem the dress. This I'll be doing off the camera and I'll show us the final look. Do not forget to like and share this video. Leave all your questions in the comment section. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. And I'll see you guys in my next one. A bientôt!